Women still earn less than men. So this morning we're talking about ways women can advocate for themselves and get paid what they deserve. Coming up in the next 30, career coach Ashley Morgan will join us live to talk about that. Tucker.
Can't wait.
Come our way, Tucker. Thanks so much. In this Hey Ladies segment, we want to talk about this, that women earn less than men on average. And it's a sad women in our country and others face.
Yeah, according to the Census Bureau, women are earning only 83% of what men are making. That's better than in the 60s, though, when it was just around 60%. Here's a few more stats here. In D.C., women earn on average around $16,000 less per year than men. In Virginia, $12,000 less. And in Maryland, $7,000 less.
Joining us now is career coach Ashley Morgan for this discussion and to share tips on how to advance your wealth. Good morning to you. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
This is an important conversation. I think for men and women, really. We talk about these stats. We mentioned how they've gotten better. This is talking about women who are equally qualified, sometimes even overperforming their male counterparts. What is behind it in the first place?
Well, I think, unfortunately, there's several factors at work. And at the end of the day, the workplace was really not designed for women. And so we have to really shift the focus to how do we create more equitable spaces, spaces that really work for both parties.
So I want to get down to brass tacks here, Ashley, and say I'm going in to talk to my boss. How do I articulate my value?
Oh, that is such a hot question and one of my favorites. One of the most important things you can do before the meeting is gather data. Think about ways in which you have contributed to the company's bottom line. Perhaps that's how you have generated revenue personally, how you have saved the company time, how you have made the company, money. When you put your work in those terms, it allows you to have a case, a strong case for why you deserve to be compensated more.
Can you talk to about the women who do, quote unquote, arrive, right? And they're making more than perhaps their peers. Why is it important for women to share information with other women so that it spreads and gets larger?
Well, I think it's clear. Normalizing the conversation around women and money is so crucial. I believe that good-hearted, well-resourced women will change the world. And so the more conversations we are having about how much we're making and what we're doing in terms of advancing our career, the more that our partners, our sisters are able to also leverage those strategies and that mindset in our own personal career.
One thing that's interesting that I have noticed, even among men and even in the conversations that they have, is that they have no problem asking flat out for the money. Oftentimes, and it's interesting, I've heard conversations of women saying, well, when I get to that point in terms of preparedness or whatever that might be, I'll ask, whereas sometimes then it's like, hey, I'll rise to the occasion. I'm going to ask for the promotion now and I'll rise to the occasion. What's your view on that as far as not underestimating your abilities and selling yourself short?
I think one of the things we can do as women is create what I call a brag bank. Make sure that you are intimately, connected with your accomplishments, your skill set, what you bring to the table. That is going to give you just a confidence to go into any scenario that perhaps, you feel a little bit nervous about, knowing what you bring to the table. So have a brag bank, have something that you've created where you can lean back and say, I know I've got this. And that's going to support you as you go into those meetings and give you a boost of confidence, especially when that little voice of imposter syndrome tries to creep in.
In this day and age, there's a lot of talk about just being happy at work, things that you get at work that make your life better overall. So if you're trying to advocate for yourself for one of those, like say another coworker has a benefit, more vacation time or a better work schedule, flexible work schedule, breaks built in that you would like to have and haven't been considered, is it smart to go in and compare? And how important is it to just go in and specifically ask for what you want?
Good question.
Oh, that's a great question. Always specifically ask for what you want. And I think you put it in the frame of your personal well-being is beneficial to the organization. The research proves that when a woman is well-rested and thriving as a human, you're more productive at work, you're more creative, you're more innovative. So your well-being benefits your organization.
Do you see any differences in the type of industries that women maybe fare better in when it comes to equal pay to men? I know across the board there's a difference, but do you see that some do better in some career paths rather than others?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that there are traditionally industries like technology that tend to be a bit more progressive. And then also sales. Sales tends to be one of those kind of blaze your own trails, chart your own course, choose your own destiny industries. And there's a lot of ways to make that work for you, even if I was never an introvert, or excuse me, I'm a big introvert, was never an extrovert, never thought I'd be great at something like sales, but went into the industry and just focused on service and, grew my income to over 6 figures in corporate America. And so, I think you've got to see what might potentially work for you and lean into that.
Any resources that women or people who are interested in more information can reach out to?
Oh, absolutely. LinkedIn, I'm Ashley Morgan there. And then I'm on Instagram most days, Ashley Morgan Live, sharing, tips on exactly this, how to ask for more and actually get it.
Okay, this is a great question to end on then. Ask for more and actually get it. Do you actually ask for more in hoping of getting a little less? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you inflate what you want in hopes that you get what you really want, which is lower than what you asked for? What's the best tactic there?
I'd always say ask for more, because that's going to create a bit of room for negotiation. And at the end of the day, the most important part of the process is really understanding who you are, what you bring to the table. And if they say no, they say no. Then you have a decision to make. Do you stay or walk away?
All right.
Don't be afraid of the no.
Yeah,
right?
don't be afraid to walk.
And don't
Absolutely.
be afraid to walk.
Absolutely.
Right, exactly. Ashley, thank you. This was such a great discussion. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, coming up next, how to eat like your life depends on it. Because you know what? It